Trying times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end-time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows, back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land.
We all run a busy schedule, and maybe we don't have time to catch the Gary Russell program. Well, here's the solution. The best of the Gary Russell program, highlighting the most memorable parts of recent shows. Each podcast I will play clips of previous shows and talk about them. Watch for podcast uploads during the GJRB's podcast weekend on GJRB's public site on Spreaker. Reflecting on the past memories of past shows. The best of the Gary Russell program on GJRB.
Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The weird, the strange, the bizarre. Way out fun, way out there. Another show coming soon on GJRB Online. Oh yeah, Martin Blockson played this on our Smooth Afternoons. Great piece of music too. I like this one. One of our new emerging artists on GJRB. It's called Chasing the Rain. Great smooth jazz. And you're listening to Way Out There on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the program. Always glad you could be a part of the program and listening or trying to, or maybe you just haven't been here today yet. Don't have very many people on board my Spreaker. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look at my tablet. Hey, if you ever hear this noise, let's see. I don't really think I explained to you why it does that, but every once in a while you'll hear that noise. And it's just my tablet, which is plugged into the computer for power, because it killed on me last hour. So I had to plug it in for a while. And usually what happens is I have to plug it into the computer in order to see if I'm getting listeners. And usually I do that is I usually go on my Spreaker on here and see if we've got some people on board. I usually check every once in a while and find out. So I'm going to kind of click over there and see what we've got. No, I don't see anything so far. No listeners at this hour. I'm going to check my last one. Last two segments had no listeners. The first part, nope. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll get something on here in this hour. So if you want to be part of the show, if you join me later on, or if we get some messages live on the air, we'll take them. And don't forget, this is Freestyle Friday, and of course, like I said before, being Friday is a slow news day. No news. We don't do news, okay? No news at all, right? No newscast, no news, because there's nothing happening. Okay? For some reason, and I think it's going to be the new rule for this program. Whenever I do a show on a Friday, especially it's a Freestyle Friday, and there's no news whatsoever, I'll do news prep just in case. But Fridays, just nothing happening. So a lot of times I just don't, do news on Fridays, especially the Gary Russin program. Now, the Gary Russin program is a little different because the Gary Russin program is our GJRB's original news talk program. So I do still do news on Friday that way, but it's usually basically news and comment. And it's basically all the way through the show because, I don't know, I start and then I find out there's no news on Fridays. So I just, do it that way. But, slow news day. But we were talking earlier about that one of the biggest news, I guess, is Donald Trump. President Trump is, they're doing a lot more investigation of this guy, and they think that maybe perhaps he committed perjury. I don't know for a fact, but that's what they were talking about lately in the news. So I'm going to get on some of that later on. Also, I don't know, my prediction for 2018 is that eventually I think they're going to get sick and tired of Trump, and they're not going to win, and so I think a lot of them are just going to give up. I believe eventually. Once they realize that they can't get this guy out of office any more than they could get Obama out of office. It wasn't happening. No matter how many trumped-up charges or charges they put up against him, they still managed to not find anything on him. So I don't know. What do you think? I think that it's all gonna unravel eventually. Whether he did things or not, it's another story. But let's talk about some of the weird monsters and stuff we found in 2017. Remember this? The Jersey Devil was showing on film in Pennsylvania. Construction workers returning home from a job there in Pennsylvania believe they and a friend may have spotted what was the infamous Jersey Devil. And going to initials RW, the man says that he noticed the strange creature lurking atop some trees as they drove down the highway. According to witnesses, the oddity sported some bat-like wings as well as a goat head, which eerily matches the description of a legendary entity known as the Jersey Devil. Apparently aware of the tide, the man's friends quickly took a picture of it as it flew away. The stallion man suspected that perhaps they were mistaken about what they saw due to the weather and the time of day. But upon looking at the photo, the pair became certain that they had seen the notorious cryptid and lurking in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. Skeptics have no doubt suggest that the anomaly is merely a bat that looks a mere monstrous due to its angle and perspective in the photo. Well, then they took, in this case, the even easier argument was why the construction workers did not photograph this Jersey Devil could be made simply by pointing out that they took the photo in Pennsylvania. So, anyway, Coast Insiders can now learn about this legend, Jersey Devil, by checking out a show from January 19, 2009. So if you want to be a Coast Insider, I'd like to do that. I've been wanting to be a Coast Insider. I just haven't got around. It does cost a little bit, but hey, it'd be kind of fun to do that. Coast Insider, it's kind of neat. So you could join on that and be a Coast Insider, Coast to Coast AM. I think it's like, what was that? 4 cents a day. I don't know what the whole. But anyway, it's worth it, I guess. The Coast Insider. And Premier Radio Networks, Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. And later on, at the end of the show, I will give you the guest lineup for Coast to Coast. So tune in for that a little later on. The guest lineup for Coast to Coast. Weather on the fives right now. Let's do it. And let's take a look at some of the temperatures across this fine land of ours. Huh? Let's do that. Okay? Let's see what's going on and see what's happening here. So far, we have 51 degrees here in Clinton, sunny and windy outside here in Clinton, Iowa right now. And we'll take a look at some of the other temperatures first before we head into Clinton. And let's take a look at Savannah, Georgia this hour. Down south our way, partly sunny right now. You guys have 60 degrees. And it feels like 57, so it's looking really nice for you guys. 57 degrees for that. Savannah, Georgia. High today of 50 degrees and overcast. Low near 50, and then with the east-northeast, that's tonight at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. You guys are expecting 69 tomorrow and cloudy. Chance of thunderstorms on Saturday night, low 54. And then Sunday, 66 and sunny. I like to go down to Savannah. 54 degrees on Saturday night with a chance of rain. So that's what's for you guys expecting in Savannah, Georgia. Your winds out of the east-northeast now at 14 miles per hour. Relative humidity, 61%. Your barometric pressure, 30.54 inches and dropping. And you have visibility of 10 miles. And we'll do another great city in our fine land of ours here on Way Out There next hour here on GJRB Online. Weather on the fives at 25 and 55 minutes past the hour on GJRB. Watch. Pray. For we not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org. With a lot of chaos happening, keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB. America's Street Music is back on GJRB Bluegrass with the Grassgulls, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle with all the great songs you heard before and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too. And a brand new time every third Saturday at 12 noon Central on GJRB.
End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end-time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them. Help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor at a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.
From America's Heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa. Alrighty then, 4 o'clock right now in the Central Time Zone, 5 o'clock East. and 2 o'clock Pacific. I'm Gary J. Russell, and this is Way Out There. Yeah, we got it, yeah. You know it. Well, I was getting going here. You know what I mean? We're just kind of having fun here on the Way Out There radio show here on GJRB Online. Yep. And I'm glad you could be back here. We got, in this hour, we're going to kind of have some fun and just do various things. This is our freestyle hour, open lines. So I'm hoping maybe we can gather some listeners. I'm going to go ahead and go about the Facebook and all that, and see if we can get some people on here. Let's see. Okay. Open talk right now on Way Out There. Let's see if we can get anybody out there talking here. Okay. Let's see what we can get here. I'm going to get some listeners out there. Maybe we can get some participation and see what's going on about all over over Spreaker Land, USA here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And let's see. I wanted to check and see if I'm even on Twitter at this point. And we promised you a scroll through social media, and since we already done it already, let's see. Yeah, we were doing that. Let's do it again.
Now, a scroll through social media.
Yeah, let's do that right now. Social media and see what's going on across the land on our Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and all over the place here, and see if there's anybody out there listening. By the way, let's do that call again. I'm looking for people who might have had a near-death experience. If you had a near-death experience, send me an email, GaryJ65@yahoo.com or GaryJ021361@gmail.com, or get a hold of me on Twitter. I am the Radio Maniac, and I'm looking to see. I don't know if indeed we're on here. I don't know. I think, yeah, because I remember putting the Twitter on here when I posted. So I'm sure we're here. So I'm going to kind of go into my profile and see. Yeah, there we are, Way Out There. It's there. You can listen right here online. I've got Way Out There. All the widgets are here. So all you got to do is click one of those. If you're listening live right now, you can listen live right here on Twitter right now. Way Out There. Part 2 is there. Just click it and it'll fold into a widget, and you can actually listen to the show right there on Twitter. And I was looking on Twitter, and I haven't found anything really, really interesting that pertains to our show's format. So I'm going to kind of go back over and talk about some more strange things that happened in 2017 and strange visions that happened in 2017. Another one I talked about was this one. This was an oddity. This was photographed during a full moon. They believed it was a leprechaun. And I remember this. I talked about this last year. I don't know. It might have been on my. This might have been on my show I did on St. Patrick's Day last year. Pair of photos taken of a recent full moon have left viewers perplexed due to the appearance of what believed to be it had the second image believed to be a leprechaun. Okay. Fairly benign full moon. Second image showing that what seems to be dashing across the lawn just seconds earlier. The person who photographed this was doubtful they were photoshopped because the source of the images was an older family that was unfamiliar with the program. Additionally, they point out that the anomaly looks like casting shadow on the lawn, meaning that it was not a smudge on the camera. One might expect the photo was set of a firestorm of speculation, with opinions including paranormal suggestion, like a ghost or a elemental, or a standard skeptical argument, or was it just a hoax? Given a little is known about this source, the photos and the scene feels rather contrived. Anyway, they found out that there's a wiser caution, concluding that the image shows of an elf or a leprechaun. And then again, the breathtaking full moon might have been the event to draw this kind of thing. Leprechaun. Possibility. I don't know. You know, I was, remember last year, I think it was 2017, last year we did a show on leprechauns, and we were talking about that kind of stuff, and I don't know if, how many people found that fascinating. I really didn't, really got a little bit on that stuff. I don't know if I buy into the leprechaun bit, but I thought it was interesting. Remember, I played some Irish songs too. Remember that? I played some of those, the Irish Rovers. Remember, I played the song about the see, I'm out of there. I played the song about the unicorn. Remember that? Yeah, last year. That was on our March 17th Way Out There show, and great memory there from that one. And yeah, I thought about doing a best of Way Out There, but I just don't have enough. I don't have enough time. It's enough I do the best of the Gary Russell program, but to do best of Way Out. I really don't have enough that is highlights, So I really don't think I'm going to really do the best of Way Out There. But anyhow, glad you could be with me today, and I hope you're enjoying the program. I think I got to do what they call a Mama Nature call. I got to get those in there. Mama Nature call. And that one piece we were playing before, I like it. It's a great piece of jazz, isn't it? I like it. We'll play it all the way through right now. This is a show. We just debuted him on our last Smooth Afternoon. And his name is Martin Van Bloxen. This is called Chasing the Rain. And this is Way Out There on GJRB. I'll be right back. stuff, isn't it? Martin Van Blockson is his name. Yeah, I like that music. I am in love with it. I love jazz. It's called Chasing the Rain. Brand new music from our smooth jazz playlist on GJRB. I'm Gary J. Russin with you. Welcome back to Way Out There, the show that talks about the unusual, the strange, the bizarre, the things that otherwise I just, for some reason, just can't explain. And talking a lot about some of the future, what's going to happen in 2018. And I predict, so I'm going to do a little bit of sports predictions now. I don't know if they're all going to come true. Couldn't tell you. As you will know, I haven't done sports page, and it'll be on tomorrow. But I haven't done sports page in like forever, and it's because of the whole situation. I've been kind of like taking myself away from sports for quite some time. I've been kind of disappointed in the NFL. And quite frankly, the way that they're acting and everything, and the fact that they disrespect the men who fought this country's freedom, I kind of haven't done sports in a while. But I think it's time for me to come back. I mean, these guys are going to do what they're going to do, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You can't stop it. They're going to do it. So, whatever. I'm still going to follow sports. I like baseball. Look forward to auto racing. I do watch that from time to time. I think is it Daytona 500 coming up? When does that happen? Or did I miss it? Anyway, pro bowling, I've been following that on Sunday. Usually sometimes if I come home on Sunday, ESPN will have pro bowling on. I like to watch that. I used to watch that with my dad when I was a kid. Pro Bowlers Tour used to be on Saturday afternoons, and then right after that used to be the Wide World of Sports. Oh, I used to love that. My dad and I used to watch that all the time. I used to love bowling. My sister used to bowl, and I almost got into it myself. I don't have that good of a bowling average, but we'll talk about that tomorrow on Sports Page. Going to be talking a lot about some interesting stories on Sports Page tomorrow, so tune in live. We're going to do that show about 2 o'clock to 4, unless otherwise notified. We only do 2 hours of Sports Page. Unless, again, something breaks and I start getting calls, or I get people talking about, I only do 2 hours. But you never know what could happen. After 2 hours, something big could break, and I could be getting some calls, and we'll be talking about the NFL or something. Or we'll be talking about the Super Bowl. Anybody know about what's going to be the Super Bowl ads this year? I haven't heard anything about that yet. Now, that's going to be interesting. We're going to have a big topic. I'll probably watch a little bit of it, but like I said, I wasn't too happy with the NFL. I wasn't too happy with the networks. Again, lack of respect for the United States of America, and I just kind of had it. So I was not really doing any sports at all, and for a long while. But I think it's high time, and I promised back in December that we were going to have Sports Page back. So, it wasn't until the end of the month, almost. But here we are. Let's see here. I wanted to see if there's anything pertaining to our format here. Let's see. This is on the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Okay, I thought that was something. Oh, yeah, how about that meteor in Michigan? Did you hear about that? Our pastor's talking about chasing them. I thought, okay. He says that we're going to see numerous of these. And it was in Michigan. Remember, the meteor came down, and there was a loud boom. A loud boom, remember? And people explain what that was. And it was in, near Detroit, wasn't it? In Michigan. And this thing was a meteor come down, and a loud boom and everything. And there's a picture of a dash cam video that is all over the internet on that one. And they say that more are going to come down. And then, let me get that story. It's probably on my Facebook page, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go to my Facebook page right now on my tablet. I think I know where it is. Let me see if I can actually find it. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. It would be under saved, I think. So I'm going to pop that in. Where did I see that? It was a meteor. Now, an asteroid. Yeah, an asteroid, which they say was as large as... let me see what they say. It was a very big asteroid headed toward us. And with a government shutdown, they think that this asteroid is going to hit us in a government shutdown, during our government shutdown. And let's see if I can even find that story. It should be here somewhere, if I didn't put it in the way out there. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about, the Chinook thing. We're going to talk about that. Here it is. Michigan meteor was seen by a pastor to be foretelling what could be happening. Okay, that was that meteor that we were talking about. And this Michigan pastor, apparently, according to the end time headlines, predicted what was coming in a dream that he had about this meteor. Coming to the Great Lakes, and it was going to hit Michigan, according to Rick, who is I'm a church, he says in a video on December 31st, 2017, quote, it would cause Ohio and Canada to feel the impact of it. On Tuesday, Satterfield's prediction came true when lights flashed and a loud crash shook as a meteor tumbled to Earth. People there reported seeing this meteor in Illinois, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Missouri, and Ontario. Satterfield told the local media there that the meteor is a sign of a positive things to come in the region. Quote, it's a great day. It's a great time. It's not gloom and doom. It's a jubilee day, unquote. Promising that the meteor was a harbinger of a mental, physical, and economic rejuvenation that would begin in Michigan and spread across the world. Possible. So that's interesting. Going back to that one story about the Chinook, did I mention that in the beginning of the program? I think I talked about this. Temperature swung. This is interesting. I thought this was really... Temperature swung. This has happened 75 years ago. So this is what, 2017? Right? 75 years ago? Let's see what we got here. Let's get my calculator up. Let's see. 2018 minus 75 years. 1943. Okay, 1943. In 1943, in South Dakota, it went from negative 4 degrees below zero. This is in 2 hours' time. Or actually, no, not 2 hours. Never mind. Scratch that. It happened within 2 minutes' time. 2 minutes' time. It went from negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit to 45 degrees above zero. In 2 minutes. Okay. Then later on, then about 9 o'clock in the morning, I think the temperature was 54 degrees. This was in a town called, I like the name of this town. I do love the name of this town. Spearfish, South Dakota. Anybody maybe will listen to this, who might be listening. I doubt it. Spearfish, South Dakota. At 7:30 a.m., the temperature was negative. It was 4 degrees below zero. By 7:32, it was 45 degrees. Could you imagine that? From 4 degrees below zero, it took a large climb. Within about 2 minutes, the temperature rose to 45 degrees above zero Fahrenheit. Okay? Imagine that. So if you have frosted windows, let's say, for example, from the sub-zero weather, and let's say it climbed to 45 degrees in like 2 minutes, that would probably break your windows. Probably would. It would probably cause some extensive damage, because this is like one extreme to the other in 2 minutes. Can't imagine what that would be like. And then at 9 a.m. in 1943 in Spearfish, South Dakota, you got to imagine this was the talk of the day. This had to have been the talk of the day. The temperature was 54 degrees above zero Fahrenheit. By 9:27 a.m., 9:27 a.m., the temperature was back to 4 degrees below zero. Now that's weird. That is weird. Could you imagine temperature going up and down that drastically in a short period of time? Wow. That's just mind-boggling. I just can't imagine a temperature that drastically climbing that short a time and then going back and tanking within about 27 minutes. So by 27 minutes, so in 2 minutes time, the temperature rose to 54 degrees Fahrenheit, or was it 40, whatever, and then cleared down back to 4 degrees below zero by 27 minutes, by 9:30 a.m. Pretty bizarre. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, just, standing out there. Now, I've been in weather where the temperature kind of tanks drastically. It does something to my system. Believe me, I start not feeling good. I get the cold and all that. I can't take a drastic temperature drop like that. It's called the Chinook. I don't know what they call it, the Chinook effect. What was that called? This happened in 1943 in Spearfish, South Dakota. Bizarre. Totally whacked out bizarre. I just couldn't imagine something like that. Really. I mean, wow. Well, I mean, whoa. Yeah, you're listening to Way Out There on GJRB Online, and we're going to do one more 45, and then we're going to cut out of here. Not much going on. Not much listeners, so we're just going to do one more 45, and then we're going to leave for today. So we're going to close out this program and put an end to it. So we're going to have a little bit of fun in the last 45. I'll give you our program schedule, what we're going to exactly do. Remember that all programs are subject to change and can change with or without notice. And, of course, this is a spontaneous broadcasting, which means whatever, whenever. We never know when we're going to be on the air. We never know what kind of programming we're going to put on. So be aware of that. Okay? And, and then if you want to be a part of that, love to hear from you. And our 9-foot signal, 88.9 KGRB, our low-powered 9-foot signal right after this is over, we're going to have on the Bible study from Wednesday. But if you want to listen to that here on Spreaker, you can. It's available as a podcast. Just play it on the GJRB Spreaker public site. Okay? All righty, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get ready because we're going to be going into a break here pretty soon. And stuff. So we're going to be doing that. And come back and we'll wrap up the shoe for today. And see what's going on next couple of days here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. So stick around. Hope you're enjoying the program, and I hope you're liking us and get a chance to listen on Spreaker and on the GJRB Spreaker public site. And you're all welcome to do that. I did something different today. Before I went on the air, I did a preview of what we're going to be doing on today's broadcast. That was for people on Spreaker. And then what I did was I posted it all over the internet. And hoping maybe I would have got some listeners, but I didn't get a bite. It's kind of like fishing. It is. It's kind of like fishing. If there's no fish in the brook, if there's no, tiny little fishies in the brook, well, hate to tell you, folks, you ain't going to get no listeners. But, so, whatever the case may be, it's fun anyway, and I love doing this show. So I don't care if I get listeners or not. I just try to get them. And I do it that way from now on. I'm just going to put little notices on. Now remember, you never know when we're going to be on the air. Now tomorrow I'm going to be doing Sports Page. And it's going to be the first time in a long while, so bear with me. I'm going to be doing some different things with that show. As you know, we do sports scores every 10 minutes. And, just so you know, we do that. Sports scores every 2 minutes. And get a chance to talk to you about sports. I do like some sports. So I'll be talking about that coming up as we conclude Way Out There for today here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks for listening today to GJRB Online. And thank you for being a part of the, many people who like our show, which I'm sure there are some. And we got a lot of them. So, Anyhow, we're going to be taking a break, and I'll be right back. I got more of Way Out There coming up next here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. I'm Gary J. Russin, and stay tuned. I got a lot more coming up as we wrap up Way Out There. 45 more minutes coming up next right here on GJRB.